안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Exchange 첸 조앤
and Megan입니다.
네, perfect. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 익스체인지 첸의 6번째 시간인데요. 오늘은 저희 방송에 특별한 손님을 모시고 같이 얘기 나눌 수 있게 됐어요. 바로 스코틀랜드에서 이번 주 화요일에 도착하신 리오인데요. 우리의 코호스트인 메간의 친구분이시기도 합니다. 영화에 관해서 많이 무척 조예가 깊으신 그런 아티스트세요. 메간과 인사 나누고 친구분에 대해서 좀 더 소개받아 보겠습니다. Hello, Megan.
Hello.
I can clearly see that you are happy to be with your friend.
Yes. We have a special guest today.
So please introduce your artist friend to
Yes,
us.
of course. So say hi, Leo.
Hi.
This is my
guy.
he's a man. No, we're good. So this is my friend, Leoto. I guess introduce yourself a little bit, please.
I'm Leo. I'm from Glasgow, Scotland, and I'm an artist filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I'd met Megan when we were both studying at Glasgow School of Art in 2020.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a few years now. Did our master's course together.
In Glasgow.
In Glasgow, yes. That's where Leo's from. I was a visitor for 2 years. But yeah, we had the intensity of a master's course together. Our friendship has obviously evolved and developed over the years as friendships do. But it started with me. I mean, 2020, right? Pandemic. You only could do so much when there were restrictions on like lockdown, whatever. So our friendship really blossomed once I said hi, because he's also was doing photography more at the time, still does photography, filmmaker, artist. So I'm like, hey, fellow person who also does photography, I was making a series at the time, and I needed to whittle down which photographs were going to be in, like one specifically that was 5, and I just go, hey, can you come over? I have snacks, I have drink, and he helped me process through it, which was just really nice. Yeah.
So he said yes.
Well, of course. No.
Wow,
I'm
so
lovely.
Great. It's so great friendship, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's a bit of us. Yeah. Yeah.
네.
But we've just been chatting and hanging out ever since, and we were like, we miss each other, and I said, come to Korea, and yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You're here.
It's like a dream come true, because it's like
Really?
one of these.
Dream come true.
Yeah, because I've always felt like it's a place I want to be at some point. And then to have like a chance to see someone you really miss, and then it also be a chance to be in this place that you really want to be in. It was just really as soon as Megan had mentioned like maybe this would be a good time to sort of catch up and spend time together, I was like, well, what place could be better?
And we it's funny, I think some people don't always understand it, but we did it impulsively enough. It was like, what, 3 weeks ago? We kind of like had been throwing it around for a while, but then you're like, hey, I want to talk to you about that. And I'm like, okay. And then we just said, yeah, okay, let's do it. And he bought the ticket, and I mean, what can I do? I'm like, I'll get groceries. Like, what do you do? But yeah, like in 3 weeks' time, he's here. It was great.
Wow, so great.
Very adventurous artist.
I cannot imagine that. Yeah, and then I've heard that it's your first time to travel Asian country.
Yes, yeah, it's my first time outside of Europe, so it's been really exciting. Yeah, it's
new.
Yeah,
Longest flight ever for you.
Yeah,
So new.
It's been really unique because it's
Unique.
In some ways it's probably the first time I've been abroad where it's somewhere that feels different, but at the same time there's enough that feels similar to what I'm used to where it just feels really comfortable place to be in, but there's a nice excitement too.
I mean, and we've talked about this before, but there is a westernization of Korea. So I think there are really only a select few, I would say, countries within Asia that, for especially those of us from the West, might feel some familiarity. But we were also talking about the warmth of Korea. There is like a warmth that you do feel when you're here. And I also want to take some credit because I'm warm and lovely and I'm helping your experience. Just kidding. No, I think you're right. There is a beauty to being here. So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. It's just been even just like spending some time getting place to place and just not like being able to explore.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
We've been walking a lot, so he's been experiencing Korea through walking. So I force my walking habits on my friends. So
even in nighttime in Korea, you can walk.
Yeah, it's very safe. I mean, it might be a bit more jarring for me because like as a woman, but like I don't know if you felt it like that. It is quite safe and people just are doing their thing as you walk at night.
Well, like I've only just got here and it's the safest I've felt somewhere.
So, really?
Yeah, like I've been to places like France and I've been there enough times to where like it's somewhere that doesn't like feel foreign to me, but even then it's like have to be careful, and whereas here I just feel comfortable. Like we were taking photographs because I'm interested in street photography.
He has a good camera, y'all. It's a good one.
So like I'm taking photographs and things, and I'm like people are just around me like just getting on with their lives. They're not like, why does he have a camera or those types of things. People have been really warm and really I've felt just the ease and just really it's been really chill, even though like I'm right in the middle of a city.
네, 지금 스코틀랜드에서 오신 리오분, 메간의 친구신데요. 친구를 찾아 또 한국에 와보고 싶었는데 이렇게 꿈을 실현하게 돼서 매우 기쁘다고 전하고 있고, 그다음에 한국에 와서 굉장히 사람들도 따뜻하고 사진 작가시잖아요. 그래서 사진 찍는 거를 굉장히 한국에 와서 많이 며칠 안 됐지만 즐겼나 봐요. 그래서 좋은 인상을 받고 있다고, 한국에 와서 따뜻함을 느끼고 있다고 얘기하네요. 네, 매우 기쁩니다. 만나뵙게 돼서 기쁘고요. Okay, then I wanna know, you have any special impression here?
Like first impressions, anything?
Yeah, as a first impression.
Well, something like I wasn't expecting at all was when we were just commuting from the airport.
So Incheon
to
where I stay.
Yeah.
Don't need to out myself where I live.
Yeah, but we were just getting the train and it wasn't like bright sunny weather. It was quite...
It was raining.
Yeah, it was quite rainy and stuff, but even then it was like I just looked out the windows when we were on the train and it was like the deepest blue that I had seen in my life. Like I hadn't ever seen anything like it. And it was...
You mean the color of the sky?
Yeah, it was like such a like deep, like there was like a, like it was just like nothing I'd seen before. Like it was, and then like I was mentioning to you, like we just went past, like it was just like some trees and grass and things.
Just normal trees.
Yeah, like just
normal trees.
Yeah, just like something you wouldn't ever think about usually. And I mentioned to Megan at the time, I was like, that is the most like vibrant green that I've seen from just grass like in my life. And it's like, it's something where like you wouldn't ever think about this when you're just living here day to day, but it was
really
like
true.
From like I seen that and it made a real impact, and I was like what? And it was really it was really special, even it was such a small thing.
Well, it was interesting because like it got us talking about, because we just have led different lives, and as we've gotten to know each other, like me talking about the places I've lived, and one of your questions to me was like, well, because my first time in Asia was Taiwan, and you said, what was your first impression? And I had a similar thing about the light there. It was just different. That had like, if you think of lenses and like a filter, I thought of like for Taiwan, it was like a brown yellow, even though it is green, but it wasn't, it's a very different light here, and the greenness that Leo's talking about, and the blue. Same with like Glasgow also was very different. We had another course mate who's Taiwanese, and he would mention to me about how he was so keen to be in Glasgow because of the light he had seen in movies and films, that it's a special, because like just the sun moves differently and therefore has different and produces different light. But I guess I've been away from Glasgow long enough where I was like, oh, it's rainy, and like, oh, you're seeing it on a gloomy day and you think it's bright, and then I forgot, like, oh no, it's gloomy all the time in Glasgow.
Yeah. Well, I've got the opposite, because like when I was like growing up watching Korean films, it's like you get these vibrant colours that even other Southeast Asian films don't necessarily have. Like, and it was just I wasn't even thinking about that when I first got here, and then as soon as I seen it, I was like, this is
it's real. Because sometimes, you know, we know film editing enough where you can change, right? You can, there's Photoshop, there's color grading, you can change the color of things, but wait, it might just also kind of be real life. A little bit.
와, 사진 작가이시기도 하고 영화를 만드시는 분이시라 그런지 굉장히 예리하시고 아름다움을 잘 캐치하시네요. 우리나라의 색깔은 브라이트하고 굉장히 밝고 그 푸른색이 맑고 굉장히 예쁘다고 하거든요. 그리고 같은 아시아지만 타이완의 색깔은 brown and yellow.
Brown and yellow. What's brown and yellow in Korean?
밤색 and
밤색?
노란색. 노란색 means yellow.
Okay.
Brown means 밤색. Brown means chestnut.
Oh, cute. Oh, I love that. I love that for us.
Yeah.
That's great.
Then Glasgow's color is...
What is Glasgow's color? If you
grey.
Oh, no.
Grey.
Gloomy gray.
Yeah. Lots of different shades of grey.
And I'd say I'd add a little bit of like a gray blue in there.
Gray blue.
There's blue.
Yeah.
There's definitely blue. But it's like I think there is just, you know, it's overcast. But I would never say it's like stormy. Even when it storms, like I'm used to tornado. I'm at the edge of tornado country, like not fully where I'm from in Minnesota. So like the storms are very different. Like Glasgow is just kind of like a consistent gray within like a variety,
gray.
I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not from there.
So calm and gray. And,
yeah, I think what Megan said about how it's like grey, but there's like a white or lightness to it. It's not like you're waiting for lots and lots of rain to come
and
pour
thunderstorms and wild,
crazy weather. It's more just like
always.
It's just like
always.
And you kind of get used to it because of it, and it just feels like we've got one bit of weather and that's it.
One season.
Yeah,
it gets a little colder and a little hotter. Except August, usually. I mean, there's some good summertime for a week or two.
Yeah. Unless you have a performance and get caught in crazy rain.
Oh, we can talk about that. That he's referring to me. We can talk about that another time. Oh, we can mention it. It's a thing.
네, 그럼 여기서 우리 음악 한 곡 듣고 다음 얘기로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 네, 들으실 곡은 페라모의 Ain't It Fun입니다.
You were what they're feeding on. So what are you gonna do when the world 칼국수에서 이렇게 깊은 맛이? 진한 국물의 사골 칼국수와 만둣국, 가시를 하나하나 발라낸 부드러운 사골 황태국, 김치 하나까지 손수 담가 내오는 장인의 정성이 듬뿍 담긴 음식들. 따끈하고 든든한 한 끼 팔방 칼국수에서 만날 수 있습니다. 푸짐한 전골에 30년 비법의 수제만두 한 접시를 곁들이면 모임이나 회식도 오케이. 남가자동 이웃들의 입맛을 사로잡아온 백년시장 맛집 팔방 칼국수에서 사계절 변함없는 맛과 인심을 누려보세요. 팔방 칼국수 0507-1450-2398 0507-1450-2398
And I know that here you are a person who deeply interested in movies.
Yeah. Leo.
Yes. Yes.
I know. It's
Sorry.
funny. It's funny. People can't see us. And so we're kind of in a funny setup. So it's like, who's talking to who right now? I'm like, I'm almost should I be a horse where I can see one of you on each eye? I can't do it. So yes, Leo, you like film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said artist filmmaker. So what's that about? Why do you like film?
I think for me, I would like most people grew up watching films and things like that. But in my teenage years and early 20s, I started seeing more French films, Taiwanese films, Korean films.
Hong Kong films, I know you've mentioned.
At the time, I would have seen Hong Kong, Japanese, a real mix. But it was at that point where I found films that were more unique or films that I could connect to more emotionally.
Not American blockbusters.
Well, some.
Of course,
But it was at that point where I started having much more of a connection to the films, to where these films were, I was learning more about myself through watching them. Maybe I would watch films that are controversial or shocking, or I'd watch films about people from much more different lives than me and learn. And also, it was a good space to just be involved in others' emotions and sort of spend time there. So once I got to a point where the films I was watching were more like dramas and more like relationship type subject matter, that was when it felt like this is something I want to do, and this is something where this is going to be a big part of my life.
Oh, I guess I didn't even know it that much about you with film. We both like it, but I always have known that your depth of the repertoire that you've watched it greatly surpasses mine. I didn't know you watched so many, variety, at such an early age.
Yeah.
How did you get access to that?
Well, I don't watch as many now.
Well, no, but I mean earlier. How did you get access?
When I was younger, I used to go to, there was independent cinemas, and they would quite often have a season for different directors or for different countries, and it would just be an opportunity to find a new type of cinema to watch. And then I used to quite often, as soon as I was able to buy things off of the internet, I would import DVDs, and so a lot of my money was in shipping DVDs.
Got it. I mean, I guess that's on. I mean, both of you lived in big cities. That's Glasgow for you. That you had an independent film cinema. I'm like, what is there in St. Joseph, Minnesota? Turkeys that you drive by every day to go to school? Okay, I guess I, didn't realize, growing up in even though it's not a huge city, it's this major city in Scotland. Yeah, of course you'd have something. And it's an art city.
I think something as well is that because of the age I'm, it's
How old are you? Clock him.
35.
Hey, I'm 32. We don't need to go. We're not going down the line. No, but yeah. So meaning
because of that, I grew up with the internet.
Yeah.
So it was a lot easier to find films.
Grew up, but also came into it. I don't know what it was like for you, but it was pretty later for me, I guess, when I got dial up and everything.
Yeah, but. Maybe later than others, but for me it still was a big part of my teenage years. So because of that, it was easier to find films, but also streaming and things. So when I was a teenager, it was I could find Korean, Hong Kong films online and stream them, and you would be watching 9-part uploads of these things, and
like on YouTube they do like little chunks so you aren't like, you know, stealing. So you just like slowly watch it. Yeah.
And it was funny because it's you're just kind of trying to find scraps and trying to find like what films what films are online, and it was a lot of chance to try and see what films you would get, and you would kind of take what you could get a little, but it meant you would see films that maybe you wouldn't have gave a chance otherwise, and there's something really beautiful in that.
네, 지금 리오께서 어렸을 때부터 동네에 그 독립영화관이라 그러죠. 조그만 영화관이 있어서 거기를 자주 들르면서 많은 영화를 본 것 같아요. 그러면서 영화에 대한 관심이 생기고 그 영화와의 연결이 시작된 것 같습니다. 여러 나라의 영화를 보면서 다른 사람들의 삶과 감정 같은, 그리고 다른 나라의 얘기들, 그리고 영화에 관한 여러 가지를 배우고 또 알게 되어 가면서 그쪽에 일을 하게 되는 결심을 하고 그렇게 된 것 같습니다. 네. 그리고 한국 영화도 봤다고 하네요. 궁금하네요. Yeah, Rio, you said you watched the Korean movies too, right?
Yes.
Then you feel any special attractiveness to movies and
like
to the Korean, especially Korean movies. So can I ask you though, what is that?
I think for me, there has been a handful of Korean directors that have made works that have been really important to me, and just the way that I think about filmmaking. And there is films that I'd seen when I was younger, and even though I haven't watched them since then, they're films that I still think about. Like they're films that when I think about how visually I would frame things, or when I
like
think,
in your personal work, you mean?
Yeah, or when I think about the tone.
Okay.
Because I think like some of the more popular filmmakers from Korea, like there's a tendency to have like quite a light tone but deal with heavy subject matter. And there's also like there's a tendency to have like an edge of your seat sort of feeling to where you don't necessarily know what's coming next, and even if you're waiting for a plot twist, you're not
kind of like you're always holding your breath, kind of going, oh, is that it? Is it going to be now or no? Okay, not yet.
Yeah, like, and even if you're waiting for, like, even if it's a director where you're like, I know what they're up to.
They're up to something sneaky.
It's still you still get caught up in the emotions of it.
Do you think it's kind of why Korean? I've noticed that Korea is kind of good at zombie films.
Zombie films?
Like weirdly, like zombie films and like series. I don't know why. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I like zombie films.
Do you?
Walking Dead.
Okay.
Dead. I love it.
What about the Korean film Train to Busan?
Oh, Busan.
Train to Busan. Yeah. Do you like it?
I don't like it.
What? Have you seen, there's a Netflix series called Kingdom, which is a Korean...
Sorry, I don't.
If you like zombie film, maybe watch it.
I should have.
Look at us recommending you use Korean media, Joanne.
So Kingdom is so
zombie. I mean, it's easily accessible on Netflix, but it's zombie. But so you mentioned like all these aspects of Korean directors and films that like have inspired your work. So are there? And you kind of mentioned it already, but like maybe go a little further into like distinctive features of Korean cinema and storytelling that like I know you briefly mentioned it, but like anything more that's kind of like, oh, this really stands out as a feature to Korean film.
Yeah, it's difficult because you don't want to generalize. Like there's some people that when they think of Korean cinema, it's like romantic, like K-drama sort of feelings, or like horror films, like you're saying. Whereas like for myself, I quite like dramas and thrillers and films that are more caught up in like relationships or aspects of that nature. I think trying to think of aspects of Korean cinema that feel more unique to that in those terms, like I think a lot of people would associate there being like a directness and like a brave sort of way of making, to where like it's not going to just take the easy route, and it's not afraid to shock and to push emotions. And like when we think about like the most internationally successful Korean film is Parasite, like it's a film that has talks about really important subject matter and difficult issues, but at the same time it's really character focused, and it doesn't lose sight of that. And I think a lot of American films that try and deal with like difficult issues lose sight of characters and things, and it's just
you're so right, because like as you know, we know now by episodes. Well, I think as we know by episode 6, I'm an artist as well, and like we said, we met on our MFA, our Master of Fine Art in Scotland. It's something I've dealt with too, and we've talked about this as well. Like, because a reason I've been enjoying being here as well is because I've also gotten more into acting to like expand my performance, and also I am storyteller and filmmaker as well. And it's exactly what you're saying. There's a bravery and there's like bravery, if I can speak. Hi, y'all. Also still need sleep. Bravery within the subtlety of the storytelling, but can also be shocking. That I think those, like, we're both Westerners, especially in the States, like those kinds of films don't go there. There's like a carefulness about talking about things, and that's not, I know, at least what I'm looking for, and it sounds like what you're not looking for either.
I know that for myself as well, like with Korean cinema, like sure, like I touched on it earlier, like there's more mainstream, easier going like films that,
of course, just like anywhere.
But the most high profile directors, they're making films that are closer to like art house, like
just with a big budget.
Filmmakers. whereas in Hollywood, they're only catching up to this. Like in Hollywood, there's still like the most high profile directors are making like big, massive.
Do we want to call out someone?
No,
have a hot take.
No, but there's more of a tendency to make like big visual, like CGI sort of films that are safer. Whereas like the highest profile directors, or for the most part, the
like globally, you mean?
Internationally,
like more internationally known.
They're making braver work.
So I understand your point is the Korean films, some kind of characteristic of the character focusing matter that touching you, and then that is the point that you are so into the film.
Well, I think we've talked about, like you and I have also had conversations of this. Like when you focus on a character, it at times can almost then be more universal, because you know you're looking at the intricacies within a character, but it's their experience in the world that then feels either it's relatable or it makes you think about things in your life. Like I think sometimes I've seen and experienced storytelling where it loses sight of that, which is, I think, a shame. It's a shame, because when it's helpful, but sometimes it's really not, because they're trying not to. They're walking on eggshells. They're trying to. Oh, we don't want to be too specific to this, like so more people get it. But I think more people relate when you do have a specific character-driven narrative.
네, 리오께서 지금 영화를 만들게 된 그 계기나 어떤 그 동기를 얻게 된 게 우리 한국 영화가 영향이 크다고 하는데요. 어렸을 때부터 여러 나라 영화를 보았지만 한국 영화에서 받은 그 캐릭터를 포커스로 두고 그 영화를 만드는 그런 방식이 리오한테는 굉장히 영향을 깊이 끼친 것 같아요. 그래서 그게 영화를 만드는 방식이나 이런 게 굉장히 매력적으로 느껴져서 영화를 만드는 사람이 되겠다고 결심을 하게 된 것 같습니다. 네, 참 좋은 얘기였는데요. 네, 그럼 우리 여기서 조금씩 열기도 시킬 겸 노래 한 곡 더 듣고 진행하겠습니다. 이번 노래는 Churches의 Lies입니다.
땀 흘려 일하는 당신의 곁에 서대문구 노동자 종합지원센터가 있습니다. 노동법 강좌와 청소년 노동인권 교육, 무료 노동상담, 소상공인을 위한 노사 관계 지원과 취약계층 노동자를 위한 문화복지 사업 등 일하는 사람들을 위한 사업을 진행하고 있습니다. 임금체불, 부당 노동행위, 산업재해, 직장 내 차별행위 등 일하다가 겪는 어려움은 무료 노동 법률 상담 02-395-0025, 02-395-0025로 전화주세요. 배달라이더, 택배기사, 대리기사, 요양보호사 등 이동노동자들을 위한 슈 서대문 이동노동자 쉼터에는 다양한 업무 편의시설과 안마의자가 준비되어 있으니 이동 중 힘드실 때 언제라도 쉬어가시기 바랍니다. 서대문구 노동자 종합지원센터의 소식을 좀 더 알고 싶다면 카카오 채널 서대문 노동자센터를 검색해주세요. 서대문구 노동자 종합지원센터는 일하는 모든 사람이 존중받고 노동이 아름다운 서대문구를 만들기 위해 노력하겠습니다. 당신을 응원하는 서대문구 노동자 종합지원센터와 함께 오늘 하루도 힘내세요.
네, 여러분은 지금 91.3MHz 서대문 공동체 FM 라디오의 Exchange 채널 듣고 계신데요. 이는 서대문 공동체 라디오 플러그인에 의해 만들어지고 있습니다. 물론 여러분들도 다양한 얘기로 참여하실 수 있고요. 저희 메일 주소는 exchange1-@naver.com입니다. 저희 프로그램의 성격이 익스체인지잖아요. 그래서 영화를 보면서 다른 문화를 더 잘 이해하게 되는지 그 예가 있다면 하나만 소개해달라고 하고 싶거든요. 그걸 물어보고 싶은데요.
Yeah?
You have anything to tell?
Yeah. Thank you. I feel like feel bad because I want to be able to understand when you're done. But I don't know enough Korean yet, if any. So, but yes. Okay. When we were curating the songs, I come in with the music as much as I can. Joanne kindly does a lot of the script or like the structure of this, and I'm like, haha, music and my wild self. But for this one, I thought, okay, we usually do 3 songs, and I thought, let's do 3 bands, one from each place that each of us are from. So first one, Paramore, American band. And the song we'll play next is a Korean band. But this one is a Scottish band that Leo introduced me to. And I didn't know. I didn't know
either.
But I also didn't know how Scottish and like Glaswegian this whole thing is. Like, can you please tell them what you told me? Because
yeah, like the band are members are similar age to me, and they grew up and are from the same music scene that I was around, and able to go to the same concerts as them, and so it was really special to see them go from being this band that plays small shows to playing big arenas.
A little house party too.
And their first concert, and the first song that they released a video for, it was actually at the art school we went to, Glasgow School of Art,
which is
same school.
Yeah, so that was their first, and was it this song?
Yeah, it was that song.
There's a YouTube video of them and that performance that they did at the art school. If you can't tell, so I would call it the Glasgow School of Art. But if you're local to Glasgow, it's just called the art school. But yeah, they did a performance there, and I didn't know that. And you had to be like, yes, so it's in this building, and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, I know nothing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a throwback because it's not a song that they play live anymore, and it wasn't one of their big singles once they got popular. But it's the first one, so the people that have liked them for a long time, it's like a special song.
Yeah, and funny, now they are on Korean radio, Korean local radio. Here we are.
네, 지금 조금 아까 들으신 Churches 그룹이 같이 그 메간이랑 그 리오가 같이 학교 다니면서 같이 그 공부했던 아트 스쿨에 같이 다녔던 멤버들인가 봐요. 그리고 스코틀랜드에서는 좀 유명하다고 하네요. 좋겠는데요. 굉장히 좋겠는데요. 자, 그러면
And we continue.
Okay,
More
continue.
film.
Let's go to
Hi. Exchange.
Okay. And then now this time is I want to know about your thought that the Leo watching movies can help get better understanding of the cultures. Do you think?
Or just like, like talking about how film, you had said that it helped you learn and understand, sure, connect emotionally with the characters, but also that it just places that you weren't aware of things. You learned from like these different and various films that you saw, like learning about new places in the world, different daily lives. Like,
yeah, like I think for myself, I'm always careful to understand that you're really learning about the people who made it rather than just the place.
That's a good perspective.
The films aren't necessarily representative of everything. Like you'll get some small cultural differences that feel quite really like authentic or to people that are from there, like maybe the way families eat meals or routines and things. But obviously there is differences that can come up in films where it isn't necessarily representative of everyone, and you could easily get misled into thinking that something that directors put in to like shock or impress is something that everyone does. And it's just like I know that for myself, like the film that is most famous in Scotland is like,
what is it called?
Train Spotting.
Train Spotting.
And because the subject matters like about drug use and things like that, you could easily get a really bad impression.
That's Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's the same for Korea, obviously. There's famous Korean movies, obviously. I think a lot of Korean people were like, that's not us.
Like that's just that, and also, or that particular character. I mean, like you said, obviously there are some things, like I've had a lot of, red Solo cups, like those plastic red cups that like people will drink from in American films. Like those are real things, so there are like very real things that happen culturally that sometimes I think we don't realize, like you said, how people eat and whatever, but it is about the filmmaker and how they're perceiving and how they want to show those characters, and obviously some characters are exaggerated. But I that's such a perfect way to put it, is you're learning about the filmmaker and their perspective and what they want to portray, sometimes very purposely. Sometimes I think like they don't even know. Like, have you been to enough therapy to know what you're actually doing? Like things that we don't see in ourselves. Yeah, no, that's such a good way to put it.
I'm very sorry, but know, I missed this a lot. So
you missed a lot.
I'm not used to this kind of the intonation and from Scotland. Someone.
Okay, of course. I know it's.
Please, I need your help, Megan.
Of course. Of a little summary. So as if anyone is a repeat listener, that there's we chat, and then Joanne kindly gives a summary in Korean, because I don't have Korean, and I don't always like making a big deal of the variety of accents, but I think we are conscious of that, right? We're just in a place that does know an American accent more, and I have a very specific accent that is like English teacher, hi, understand me. So
easy.
Nothing against Leo's accent. It's just because I don't want you to change it. Like, please never change it. Like, also, it's good to just be exposed to it, right?
Yeah, it's funny because the friends that I've got that are like South Korean, it's the friends that have stayed in like London or something for a few years, like they're good to go. But like for friends that were like fluent in English but just not exposed to like accents, it was like took quite a bit of time to get used, because I've got quite an accent. You
do, and it's not as thick Glaswegian, but it's thick enough for people who aren't used to that. But okay, so we're gonna do it real time, y'all. So it's he was saying that like with like yes, you can understand culture when you're looking at and watching film, but what's more so about film is that you are actually getting to know the director and their story, and the writers, like their storytelling and how they want to portray something, rather than like actual everyday generalized culture, right? So it's sure, like for us in the West watching a Korean film, for example, and seeing how people eat meals would be very different than how we would eat meals, maybe. But also, like, there's different classes, there's different different family
Social walk.
Yeah, just differences that some people maybe who aren't as open to going, oh, there are just differences. They might generalize, but I think Leo's brilliant point was when you watch a film, you're learning more about the director, not actual culture. Yes, a little bit, but yeah. Does that make sense? Better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah. 네, 지금 리오가 아주 예리하게 지적해 주신 부분은 영화를 볼 때 우리가 그 어떤 캐릭터를 보는 걸 넘어서 그 감독분들이 굉장히 머리가 좋으신 분들이잖아요. 굉장히 똑똑하신 분들인데 그분들이 보는 어떤 견해나 그분들의 생각을 읽을 수 있는 점이 영화를 보는 아주 매력적인 부분이라고 리오가 지적해 주셨는데 아주 예리한 지적이었던 것 같습니다.
Thank you, Joanne.
You're welcome. 자, 그럼 여기서 우리 노래 하나 더 듣겠습니다. 이번에는 The Rose의 Red입니다.
Stay 작은 불빛 날 끌어당기는 fireflies Take 날 데려가 숨 막히는 시선 속에 비춰지는 moonlight 길을 찾아가 점점 가까이 내게 다가와 떠오르는 flashlight 빛을 따라가 쏟아지는 저 shooting stars I wanna be red 눈앞에 피어난 불꽃처럼 No I wanna be red 빨갛게 펼쳐진 하늘처럼 I don't care I wanna
Well, from our talking, I got some findings that movies play a significant role in cultural exchange, right?
Yes.
And understanding different countries. Then this time, would you tell us one Korean movie that you've got some in your mind as an impressive one or recommending one to other foreigners? And if possible, which point can make you think so?
I'm going to cheat and pick two. So they're both really different, and I feel like that's one of the things that should be embraced, especially in Korean cinema. So the first one I'm going to recommend is Little Forest. And the reason I picked it is because it's really quite a unique film. It's less concerned with like drama and less concerned with like trying to like nicely wrap up a big plot or
Like very slice of life.
Yeah, it just goes at its own pace, and it has just the most amazing looking food that I've seen in a
Might be
film.
hungry.
Yeah, and I love the relationships in the film, the friendships, and just it's just a film that when I first watched it, I went with a friend. I was so worried that they would be like bored. They'd be like,
it's too slow.
There's not enough
or-
drama or something. So like when I first viewed it, there was a bit of that going on, and then when I rewatched it, I was like, this is such a good space to be in. So that's one recommendation.
Little Forest, y'all.
Little Forest.
Little Forest.
The other recommendation I've got is like really famous film, but it's like the total other side of this. Agashi.
Agashi. Oh.
And like I guess my reasoning for that is that it has like a lot of the traits, and it has a lot of like the distinctive features that like people would associate with Korean cinema, and it's like such an exciting film to watch. There's such a beautiful aesthetic to the visuals, the costumes. There's really rich drama, really intense like plot twists, and it's really can be quite shocking at times, and it's just really easy to get caught up in it. And I just feel like it's if you're someone that if you're just trying to watch like a few films and be like, what's going on here, like what are the sort of what am I going to get that's different from here, like that's a good one to expose yourself to. Like you might not love all of it, like I'm not even sure that I like all the parts of it, but
Hi, I'm recommending you a film I don't know if I like.
no, but I mean like sometimes it's really good to watch films where it's like I like parts of it, but other parts push me, or other parts
a little uncomfortable at times.
Something. I think sometimes it's good to be.
Because like, why am I uncomfortable? Is it because it's bad storytelling, or is it hitting something in me that I'm uncomfortable with? You know, like it could be a you problem.
It probably is, but yeah, just like I think it's something to really embrace. Be like, you know, challenge me, shock me, like give me something I can get attached to, give me something that like might not be easy to swallow, give me some. It's just, and it's one of those types of films where like it's beautiful, it's challenging, it's exciting, like edge of your seat, it's like romantic.
You're hyping this up. Like, it's great.
Well, I don't usually, there aren't many films that I can feel like strongly about, and I don't just mean like films I love or whatever, like films that I can talk about and be like have strong feelings like either way, like this is a challenging thing, like this is the parts like
more
this is the parts
discussion within it.
Usually those films don't become successful international films, whereas this was a film that got really successful. It's quite challenging, so I think that's something to really embrace, like such a brave creative work that maybe it doesn't sit comfortably, but it's
try it out.
Yeah,
have a wee go at it.
Yeah,
I like that you've recommended films that I hadn't heard of them. I didn't even hear of that one. I thought we had spoken before. This was a shock. Thank you. I didn't hear about the second one. What is it called again? The second film?
It's Handmaiden.
Agashi.
That's what we've been talking about this whole time. I know. So like, okay, y'all. So now you know how little Korean I do know. So for those who are also stupid like me, the Handmaiden. Yeah, it's so in English we call it Handmaiden. Handmaiden. Yeah, definitely. Now I can. You kept me out. Out of the discussion.
I feel like I cheated because I asked beforehand. What's the Korean title for this film?
I was doing other things. Oh, y'all, I feel cheated. No. No, okay, so I was just going to say, you didn't recommend Handmaiden. Okay, but you also didn't recommend, like, you know, we talked about Parasite earlier, and then there's the one I've always been told to watch by Koreans is Old Boy.
Old Boy.
Yeah. But, like, have you watched either of these films? So, Handmaiden and Little Forest, Joanne?
Not Little Forest.
Okay.
I don't have idea about Little Forest. Sorry.
No, would you watch it after hearing about it?
Yeah, I will. I will.
Which is it's funny because like he's here recommending you the Korean
from
films.
Foreigners, I recommended the Korean movies.
That's so meaning like what kind of film, like we kind of we talked about this behind the scenes, y'all, but like it's, you know, that Leo mentioned being like, oh, I learned about new cultures with by watching for him Korean, Hong Kong, Japanese, Taiwanese films. Is it kind of like that for you, Joanne, where you watch Western films? And yes, okay, American cinema is like it's infected the entire world. That's mean to say, but like kind of. Is that kind of for you? Like you watch? Do you gravitate more toward Western films or Korean films or both? Like what?
Yeah. For me, you know, I love Western movies.
Okay, okay.
So, you know, especially I love Avatar.
Okay.
Oh, so great.
Blue people.
I recommend you
Oh,
to watch
thank
Avatar.
you. I've watched it. No. Thanks to it. Okay.
And which one you recommend for your country's representative one?
Y'all, no, I'm not gonna go there because too many. I mean, like, it's not a recommending, but like, if y'all want to know more about where I'm from, Fargo, you gotta. The film Fargo, weirdly, it's Fargo, North Dakota, which is the neighboring state, but it's mostly filmed in Minnesota. So if you want to hear how I didn't used to sound that severe, but like a lot of my extended family has that accent. If you want to know, Fargo. I don't know. You caught me off guard. I guess I don't know what to recommend. I don't know. Here we are.
I think my favorite American film
Yeah.
the last like 10 years or so, there's a film called Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Columbus.
it's shot on a university campus and it just looks
Like
beautiful.
Columbus, Ohio.
I think so.
Well,
And
Columbus,
Columbus,
what-
Ohio. It's a city in Ohio.
Name of the land.
Yeah, the city. Yeah, yeah.
Not
And
the person's name.
oh, are you talking about Columbus sailed the ocean? One of the worst humans in history. We hate that man.
Hey.
but the film's great. It looks really beautiful. In terms of the cinematography and just the architecture. But it's also got a really nice sort of like I wouldn't even say coming of age, but sort of like a self realization and relationship sort of thread going through it as well. So it's a nice balance between like some really nice artsy filmmaker sort of nerd things, and then like, but actually, you know, this film's subtle and has like some actually really nice like characters that feel grounded and real. So that's my favorite recent one.
Well, thank you, and thank you for being here. We invited a guest who's also chatty in a good way. I think I'm the chattiest, y'all, but we're done for today. Thank you. How do you feel it went?
Thank you so much.
It's been great to be here.
Right, really. Thanks for coming and during your short little stay in Seoul. So thank you.
So thank you, all of you.
No, you too.
Both of you.
This has been really fun.
So fun.
Here we
Having
are.
so fun. Great. 자, 우리는 여기서 지금 마칠 시간이 된 것 같습니다. 자, 여러분, 우리는 다음 시간에 뵐게요. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you
Bye,
next
bye, bye.
time.
See you.
Say bye.
Bye.